hey guys, well, thanks for tuning in. Well, today I'm going to be installing amp on Blue, but you're probably wondering why I didn't do that when I installed the hog pods. Well, the reason I didn't install the amp when I installed the hog pods, and if you haven't seen that video, you need to go check it out. I'll leave the link in the description below or up here. I wanted to give you guys a comparison of how the hog pods sounded without an amp. And they sound so good because I can hear it so much better than just the fairing speakers through my full face helmet. Because I guarantee any of you who ride with a full face helmet knows it's a lot harder to hear through a full face helmet, because it eliminates a lot of that wind, and it still depends on what kind of full face helmet you ride with. Well, you're probably still wondering, if they sound so good, why am I adding an amp then? Well, I just want to boost that power. I mean, who don't like some good quality audio? I know I do, whether it be your house, your car, or your motorcycle. So what did I go with? I went with Hogtunes, of course, because I am running their tweeters and their front speakers. And the amp I went with is their Rev 225 AA, which I'll list all the details for you. But it puts out 225 watts of power. And if I wanted to add more speakers, all I have to do is add another 2-channel amp. This amp puts out more power than their 4-channel. And it's already set up for their speakers. It's a complete plug-and-play system. So with it being a plug-and-play system, you're only going to need 2 tools. A Phillips head screwdriver to disconnect the battery, and a Torx 27-bit to take the fairing off. Now, you don't have to take the tank off if you don't want to, but I'll show you the complete install with taking the tank off. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm CJ. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, like button, and notification bell. And you just might want to, because I got some interesting things coming up later this year. So you might just want to stay tuned for that. All right, guys, let's dive into this. Now that everything's off the bike and the battery is disconnected, I can start by running the power wire up to the fairing. So I'm going to start running it from the battery up to make sure it goes up under the tank and it looks nice and clean. Now that the power and ground wires ran from the battery to the fairing, which is probably the hardest thing about this install, because the rest of it's pretty straightforward. Now, I've cleaned the top of the radio because the amp is going to go there. And I placed the Velcro on the back of the amp. So all I got to do is peel off the backing, place it on top of the amp, and then the rest is just pretty straightforward. Now, using the supplied wires they provide, you're going to connect the factory speaker wires. Now, they have a specific way they have to go. So the black and yellow is going to go on your clutch side. So we're going to connect those first. The last set of wires we actually have to hook up. So the black and green wire is your brake side. So we're going to hook those up first. Now, I won't be using a blue connector because this is my only amp. Now, if you're running rear speakers or lowers, then you would probably use the blue plug. As you can see, everything is tight, no loose wires anywhere. I did make sure that it worked before I put the fairing on, which is a good habit to do, so that way you don't have to take the fairing back off if it doesn't work or something's loose. So that's not the case. So I'm going to throw all this back on and then show you what it sounds like with the new amp. Well guys, I wanted to get out on the bike and show you how it sounds around town and on the interstate, because it's completely different being on the bike with the wind, the engine sounds, than just turning it on and standing behind it and moving further away. Now, it's not changing the quality of the speakers, it's just bringing out the full potential of how loud they can get. So I don't know how good the quality of it's going to be because of the music I'm playing, trying to find copyright-free music, because it's not normally what I'd be playing going down the road. I'm already at 24 and really can go up from there, and normally I have to have it at right around 30 before. So I can already tell a big difference in how much louder it gets by adding this amp. So I'm going to steadily increase it and show you how much louder it can get. And it don't even sound distorted at all. I guarantee it'd sound a whole lot louder if I was wearing a half helmet or no helmet. So that was a big thing, of being able to hear it through a full phase and going down the interstate. You know, because that's a big difference than just riding around town. I mean, you could have stock speakers, no amp, no nothing, and going 30, 40 and around town and be able to hear your music. But it's more when you're traveling and hitting those highway speeds that you really have trouble hearing your music. Now again, not everybody is into listening to music going down the road. They just want to hear their engine and exhaust, and that's perfectly fine. Or they'll have an intercom system or something in their helmet with speakers where they can listen to music that way. I'm not a big fan of that. I've tried it for a while. It just didn't work out. The speakers would rub my ears would hurt after a while, and having the music that close to my ears, it just wasn't really for me.
So this makes a big difference, especially when I start traveling, to be able to listen to my music and travel in style and be able to just to hear it. So we're just about to hit the interstate. I'm going to turn the music back up, so that way you can hear it at 70 and 80 miles an hour. Even at 80 miles an hour, I can hear that clear as day. Not really hearing any wind around me. I hear the music more than I do anything else. So with that being said, I really don't see myself adding more speakers to the rear of the bike. I ride by myself most of the time, but I do want the wife to be able to hear the music as well going down the road. And if she can hear it plenty off the front speakers, there's really no reason to add the rear. I mean, now some people want to go more speakers, and that's perfectly fine, and you can do it. Especially with hogtunes, you could add rear speakers, add the amps, everything's plug and play. But I can already tell this is plenty for me, and that's all I need. I can definitely hear it going down the interstate, around town. It's definitely loud enough for me.
Well guys, I hope this helps you out if you're ever interested in putting an amp on your bike, because I'm really glad I did. And if you like the content, hit that subscribe button, like button, notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time.